Yeah, what's up? What's up? We got the new doctor in the building, nurse.
We gotta do this again. Hey man, we are back with another video today. Coming back with another podcast, another walk in faith with God. We question you today, what is your purpose and how is your walk with God going on? We got, I don't even know if I want to call you a guest anymore, bro. You might as well just be the, you know what I'm saying? You might as well just be in back. Tyson's back, you know what I'm saying? We got him back. He came in with another wonderful idea for us to talk to about today. Walk of faith, walk with God. Essentially, have your labors and walk with God been producing the fruits that you need to be able to grow within God? What does your walk of faith look like with God specifically? For the people that may not know what walking with God means, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but like, what does that look like to y'all?
I'll go first, brother man.
I'll go first. So essentially, me in particular, I think for me, my walk is also something that I have to understand that it is less of me and definitely more of him, less of the worldly attributes, attitudes, societal norms and stuff, and really understanding that it takes a certain amount of humility to grow within myself or to grow in him. Essentially, I've been praying for these last couple weeks and months of my life to grow and really be the beacon of light for other people. And that takes a lot of humility and understanding that there has to be a lot of behaviors that I have to fix within myself, aka like negativity, even if it's something like, you know, I have a dark sense of humor. I can't really say that anymore if I'm supposed to be the light for other people. So my walk has been really just trying to better myself in the eyes in the eyes of God, and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, just walking with faith with God. I mean, that's something that, you know, not a lot of people could do, but it takes a lot because you got to think about it. You can't feel him. You can't see him. It's just like a spiritual connection, a relationship that you got to build, just like with anything else, you know, in this world. Like, you got to, you know, all it takes too is just the size of a mustard seed to, you know, believe, and you can move mountains with that. You feel me? So it's like, you know, God will give you the strength, and as long as you have that little faith, man, it could go a long way, and he'll make it known that like he's real, and he's existent, he's there. Because just in my walk in life, man, just things that I've done and stuff like that, like just recently my accident, man, like it was a promise I made to God, and the thing that I did that same day, like on my way home, I broke that promise, you feel me? And guess what? Just like that, he was tired of me because I broke that promise and I did that thing I said I wasn't going to do. So it's like right there, it was nobody else but God in that situation. And then my mom, you know, the next day it was another confirmation that it was God, that the accident, that was, you know, that was him. Like, yo, like it's time for you to stop playing with me. Like, it's time to get serious. It's, you know, God has his ways putting his foot down too, because, you know, he obviously has a plan for me, because he could have just exited me off, because, you know, the thing I did was damnation for real. So it's like, you feel me? So I know that God is real, and I still have faith, you feel me, just based off things that I've been through in my life. So, yeah.
Amen. Growing up, I didn't really have, you know, God in the household, but I knew I always had something within me to discern in the world. I feel like I always had the spirit of truthfulness, even though I was younger, as we call it, like an a-hole, where, you know, everybody's like, look at me funny if I say something that's the truth. Well, a lot of people nowadays, they don't want the truth. They want to be lied to. They want to be they want to have deception in regards to their ears. They want to hear what they want to hear to help their ego, but not actually help their spirit, not actually help them, like, uplift themselves. So me personally, when I've been growing up, I didn't have that, but as time going on, God continued to show him to me every single time that I needed him, down at my lowest, down through all the triumphs in my life, throughout all the tribulations. I still have the chance to look it back within myself, because that's where God resides at. I look for that source that I needed. I didn't know the Bible. I didn't know, you know, these teachings of Christ, but I had that true discernment in me to want to be better, be a better version of myself. You know, and I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But being able to understand that and truly be humble allowed me to grow into the person I am today. So allow my ego to die off. I know as a man or just people in general, our ego is something that can legit block our blessing that God put in stone for us in the first place.
Yeah.
Everything's written, but it's a matter of us. We as the people, God's people, that's able to go out and get what we're supposed to do in regards to our purpose that aligns to His will, why He put us here in the first place. So I started doing some pondering, some like sitting back and really thinking, like late at night, just like I gotta get right. Even though I'm young, I'm just like I want to change myself. I want to change the world. I want to do something that I can be able to help those in need. So like me being a light in the darkness of this world, because we know it's a narrow path and a long road down to that bad place, but God put us here for a true purpose, and He gives us the signs every time for us to come to Him, for us to turn our life to Him, to turn that different page in the book to allow it to truly grow and let He's gonna show you the way, but you're the one that actually has to do the driving. So it doesn't matter if growing up and just continuously growing. It just allowed me to be a better version of myself. I know I can be today, and that's why I do the nursing now. I was always in the hospital as a kid, and now I want to be able to give back to those in need. Being able to help them out spiritually, mentally, and physically is truly a blessing, man. And be able to know the human body and be able to understand what's going on with them and be able to truly help them out and make sure they're getting better and seeing them get back into high hopes, high spirits, a better version of themselves. It's a blessing, man. I just thank God every time. So one more semester left, so
yeah, Doc, man.
That's a good job, bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you brought up purpose, because purpose in God's eyes is not the same as what we think it is naturally day to day. People think purpose has to do something basically with occupation. Humans are occupational beings. What I mean is, when I say, what do you want to do in life? Typically you bring up, a certain type of job. I want to be but that doesn't necessarily mean that is your purpose that God has assigned for you. Whether that could be a specific talent or skill that you have innately that you were born with, that could be used for the greater good, or et cetera, et cetera. Purpose and the walk of God, I think, have a big thing or a big relationship in terms of your faith with God as well. And here's why I say this, bring it into kind of like the next segment or introduction to the whole Johnsky, right? Why do we believe in God, right? That's one question. Number two, if there is a God, these are also questions that people that do not believe in God as strongly or at all will commonly ask. Why, if there is a God, why does He allow things like sin, terrible things to happen, strife, suffering, and all that stuff? And it was interesting enough, right? I came with a video. It was a very interesting video as to why, from a God's perspective, of why He might allow those things to happen and why He gives us a purpose, right? So before we watch the video, I want to say that it says in Scripture very well multiple times that He made us in His image, right? So if we think of a being that created all of our universe, of all of our world, He Himself created us little minions, His little servants, as like another part of Him. He, as we know, is all loving, He's merciful, and He caters to, or He doesn't cater, but He helps the ones that are in need, right? So let's say if there was no suffering in the world, right? Who are we to serve, right? That is God's basically His whole nature. He's serving us. He sent Jesus to be the ultimate servant. Jesus said it Himself. Yeah. He is here to serve. And that's exactly what He did. Let's just watch the video before I keep on rambling. Here, I'll show y'all because it's a great video.
Hey, man.
It's a great video.
If you are such a loving, powerful, good God, why do you do nothing about the suffering, poverty, evil in this world?
Do you think you are a good person?
Yes, of course.
Then why, when I have given you enough power, food, money to help others, have you done nothing? Is that a good person?
What can I do? I can barely survive as it is.
And whose fault is that? Have others with less not done more?
Have you been such a wise steward of your time, so selflessly generous, so fiscally responsible, or have you squandered it away? I have made you in my image, and yet you convince yourself that you are powerless? You know deep down inside that thousands of people are waiting for you to live up to your potential, and yet you throw it all away. I gave you a back to carry weight, not turn it on them. You think you're angry? I am enraged when I see you squander away your potential where thousands of people are waiting for you to cultivate. If I answered your prayer and got rid of all this evil, have you ever stopped to think that I might just start with you? I let evil persist because I love you. Because I believe in you. I trust that one day you'll stop sinning and that you'll do what is right. Not because it's easy, but because it's the right thing to do. Carry your cross.
Grammy, by the way. Give that guy a Grammy. Clap it up. That's to Reed Choi. Amazing video. Very informational. Says, well, it really just debunks everything. You know, you got purpose.
I like it.
You got literally why he does the things that he does.
Yes, sir.
And what we're supposed to do here down on this world. And that really gave me a bigger perspective of just not like, you know, what I want to do as a job and who I am as a person. And as you see from my personal YouTube channel, I haven't been posting as much. You know, I got things going on in the world and I claim to, and that's really been because like I'm really trying to really help people. And if it's not something like this, I don't really see it worthy of, you know, getting y'all's attention in the first place, honestly. So when you said, you know, the P word, what is the P word we heard? Purpose. You know, I think, you know, spreading the word, spreading love, which he says, love thy neighbor 1,000 times is one of the most important things that you can do is, you know, one of our purposes, everyone. So I think it's just one of those things that like we have to wake up as a human collective and, you know, all this craziness about these drone sightings and these wars getting ready to be fought that are already being fought and stuff like that. It's like, yo, we really got to wake up because it's not going to get any better. Like we could be that beacon of light to help save as many people that we possibly can, or at least point and guide them to that point so that they can be saved. You know what I mean?
It's crazy too that over the last couple of months, they said like the Bible sales have been like through the roof. It just shows how much God will move, how much God will win in the end. He will always win in the end because His word is alive and the word is, you know, through us. The word is our truth breath. Us being able to talk, God gives us that. He has different languages throughout the world so that we can communicate with one another. But His word is always going to be there because the word is forever. The word is forever lasting. So we have that within our minds, our hearts and spirit. Our body starts to change. We start not to want to go to the flesh. We want to start to go towards the spirit because the spirit is what actually builds up our potential, which allows us to truly be in our purpose. But we live out into the world and we're not doing what we're supposed to do in regards for God, in regards to our prayer life, in regards to knowing His word. What exactly are you going to do to help other people? What are you going to do to help yourself? You're no good for anybody. You're not good for God. You're not good for, you know, just yourself in general because God gave you all this potential. Your brain can do so much. Everything else here is made by somebody. It's made by somebody. You saying, I don't feel like doing it today, or like, I don't feel like working out. Oh, I don't feel like going to school. Oh, I don't feel like getting the job. Like, you're saying I feel, but God doesn't care about your feelings. He cares about your fruits. You being able to have that true seed within you. There's two seeds in the world.
What if God just didn't feel like waking you up today?
Yeah.
And people don't even talk to God the first thing they do when they wake up. They go to other things. They go to the world. They go to their phones, scrolling.
We all do it. We all do it, man.
Everybody does it.
Everybody do it.
Everybody does it.
You gotta check myself right there. Like,
that's why you gotta check yourself, man. And that's the very reason. Like, I made sure I had to get into my purpose, and I make sure that I had to get in that isolation season. God puts you in seasons to be able to help you grow, and I realized that was one of them for me this year, because this is a year of the truth. It's a year of exposing a lot of things that is lies. But as we continue to live in the truth, you see yourself flourish so much. It's like, why go back to that old version of myself when I can continue to grow with God, because He's going to guide me in the right direction and not in the bad direction. We know that Satan is always going to push you in a direction that's not for your good. It's only for his kingdom. He wants to use your spirit to help bring down other people, while God uses your spirit to help bring in more light into the world. A lot of your peace, love, happiness, kindness, joyfulness, like all these things are what truly matters.
Yeah.
But if these things aren't happening, things will continue to crumble. People continue just to, live out in the world, do what they want to do their sins, love their sins more than they love God. And it's very, it's not good, man.
It's funny how you say. Did you want to say anything before I jump back in?
Yeah, bro.
It's funny how you say that because it's like if you realize, if you really look, if you take a step back and really look at the environment around you, what type of media you're consuming, everything that people are doing that is not pertaining to something good or of God, you'll see it only brings about certain things like destruction, burning bridges with relationships, and it literally, like you said, if you give your heart and open your heart up to things that are more evil, like lust and like the things like that you consume on media, like Instagram, everything's hypersexualized now.
Only
Sure.
what
So
you
it's
do
like,
for Christ will last.
Right.
And that's in the Bible.
Right.
Like,
and you'll see that like the more that you consume that and put that on your heart, lust and stuff like that, the only more dumb stuff just happens. Like now you realize like, oh, you think you need more sex to be like, satisfied with certain things, or you start looking about, certain sexual habits and natures from people so that you feel satisfied, and then no, it only gets worse, this and that, or like, you can't get into certain relationships, or people in like the music industry, you'll see that like people, I really didn't know how much like of the selling the soul thing really meant, but like
deep,
it's really deep. Like people will actually like, and even not even just like in the music industry, like you can look on like content creators, your favorite content creator could literally be doing and putting out certain types of media that is really something that they don't even really want to do. And it's like, you're really technically, that's really selling your soul for like, the numbers and the fame and analytics, all these people shaking butt
just to
on
get
Instagram
money.
just to get money, bro.
Yep.
And then you'll see like these same people that are getting this money and that are up, bro, they're only getting worse. They might have the bread and they might have the fame.
Jay-Z.
All materialistic.
All materialistic.
All those things are all materialistic.
Jay-Z.
But is that thing gonna come with you when God comes on Judgment Day?
Oh yeah.
Not even just Judgment Day, to your grave. You can't even just like, you can't even go and bring it to your grave. You can't bring none of the money.
Nothing.
It's like, I never understood why, like, and I'm like, more so, I don't want to call myself a minimalist because I have more than what I need, but like, I never understood like why people need to like rap and, have all this money, the huge houses, the fancy cars. It's cool to have, don't get me wrong. Like if I could have it over my little Yamin, cool. But like, that's not like a need to me. I never understood why that's also like, that's like your whole goal. Like that's like your whole life goal is to have rubber band of money just posing on
It
Instagram.
talks about that in the Bible about like the love of money and like things like cars and like people, because people praise those like that's their God.
Yeah.
Evil, I forgot what it is in the Bible. Money literally is the root of all evil. That's what it is. It's true.
Yeah.
If you don't take it the right way, and especially people that you're not servants of God, or there's pastors, there's different people that's just literally manipulating the church, taking that money and funding it for them, and it's just so much going on with that, bro. These pastors and just manipulating the saints of the Lord, and they like, yeah, da, da, da. And people are so dumb just feeding into it just because they love the pastor, but they don't even know what he really
It's
doing.
crazy.
Right.
It's crazy you said that too, because Satan uses the pastor. He uses them in the church because that's where people want to reside at. They actually find God's word. They listen to God's word. But he's being used so much around America. They're looking at Christianity funny. I mean, I said Christianity funny.
Yeah, it's
Because
terrible,
all
bro.
the deception that's in the church, all these lies, all these things that people want to hear for the ears, but not what's better for their soul, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And those things aren't gonna get you closer with God.
Yep.
It's only gonna keep feeding your ego, keep feeding what you want to hear, what you want to use for your temporary feeling, and then you're gonna go back to living the way you was supposed to. I mean, you're not supposed to be living, but how you was living in the first place, and it's not okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing that pisses me off too, because it's like a lot of the negativity with dealing with Christianity is always pushed forward because a lot of the let's say, I guess you can say, like clout per se, the big mega churches have, and they're the ones, not all of them, but most of them ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing. No. They're doing it all for the money. Oh, you could do this, you could sleep with who you want to, you could do this, that, and the third, which is not true. And the people that's non-believers are seeing, of course, the most popular mega church is going crazy and the pastor sleeping with this one. And they look at Christianity like that. And that's, it shouldn't be like that at all. But it's just like, that's the devil working his magic. You feel me? Right. So it's like, that's why I tell people, I say, that's why you got to get into a personal relationship with people. That's why I say, you can't, if so many people say the pie is good and you never tasted it, you just going off everybody else's word. You right. ain't going off and trying it yourself. And that's a lot of the problems. People just on the outside looking in and not getting a real personal relationship with God on their own.
Your own research.
Yep. That's what you got to do, man.
It's all out there. The signs are out there. Like, if you don't believe in God because it's, like, scientifically not proven, it's like, bro, literally, what do we call time?
Yep.
That's one thing, right? How do you know dinosaurs existed? After what? After death of who? Before what? We have it all in there. That's one hint right there. Before Christ, BC.
Yep.
Christmas, Christ. Or just the little things, just little things like holidays that still last today. It's almost, we're coming up on Christmas now.
Yeah, you gotta be people how like
they be taking
crazy.
That joint out of the name.
But it's crazy. Yeah, they be on the shows and stuff, or like on their commercials. They don't even say like Christmas no more. It says Xmas.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Happy.
Why you think about it?
Happy holidays. Happy
Christ,
bro. They really. But you just gotta peep those things though. But people don't really see that. It's like, I understand because I was once that person too. Like, I always believed in there was a God, but I didn't believe in specifically a white man walking on water. I believe in Jesus, but I didn't believe in some of the things that came about that it just didn't seem right to me. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've never seen Jesus walking on water. They
making a mockery of him too.
That too. So it's like, it's kind of hard to really to fathom seeing all the miracles that someone that's never been and lived in the time that he was living in. Right. But it's just so many hints and signs. If you were really just to open your eyes past just the crystal rocks and the and the incense burning and the smoking weed, it's like it's right in front of you.
I need my herbs.
Yeah.
I need my crystal.
Yo.
I got pray to my crystal. Like, I just understand it. You want to pray to the little rock, but you want to pray to something that's above you.
Man.
Something that's within you.
Literally in you.
Literally.
And everyone has like a conscience. Like, there's always there's a moral compass that everyone has. How do we know that everyone knows like killing someone is wrong? Everyone knows that.
Like,
whether it's justified for specifically like right or wrong, whatever, for a specific reason. Like, we know like killing's wrong, rape is wrong, sex is wrong, if it's not with you. We know this and it's all in our minds. We know that it's like a moral compass. So it's like I don't get like how people don't understand that that's not like just human behavior. That's like coming from a higher source. Cause like, it's just it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It makes too much sense, actually. Y'all care about getting vulnerable? Like talking about self, how much you put out there?
What you mean?
In terms of like what we struggle with.
Oh yeah. See, me personally, I don't know, mostly men, but I know me personally, lust has been around in my life for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And realizing being a man in this world, loving yourself should come first. Loving God should come first. Mm-hmm. Because you can't even love your woman if you don't even love yourself or love God first. Yeah. How are you able to love your family? How are you able to truly love your wife without going out and cheating on her? Without having that proper relationship with God in the middle between you guys? If you don't have that, you're going to go out and try and go lust with other women. Or like you're just going to keep doing these things and you're going to get drained spiritually. Because all that stuff you're doing, like a sexual act is literally like a bondage that you're doing with another person.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally a sexual act that God has created for making kids, for making new life. Mm-hmm. Not for your own, oh, it feels good in the moment. Oh, yeah. But it's like, bro.
Post that clip.
Yeah. That clarity. Bro. It's like, what did I do? So it's like, yeah, bro, it's crazy. So it's like doing that stuff it's not okay, bro. And
it's not, dog.
It's not. And just continue to grow with God. It's like,
yeah, especially
it's not worth it. It's really not.
It's even just getting older as a man and just realizing, like, I don't even, like, what am I doing? It's just like, it's so many times I'm just like, yeah, I'll be like, I'm good. it's just it's a battle I fight every day. But it's just like, you know, it's a
temptation always
yeah,
knocking on
it's
your door.
always knocking,
It's literally
dog.
so
Always,
like you
dog.
said, it's literally when two people have sex, it's literally the same flesh becoming one. You remember back in Genesis, the woman comes essentially from Adam's rib. She is a part of a man. When they become and have sex, they're essentially becoming one with each other. Imagine, like we probably have all done, becoming one with a lot of people, right? That essentially is messing up your own soul. It says in the Bible that sexual sin is literally a sin against one own body, your own body. So it's like we all struggle with it, men and women. I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman, so I don't know how they struggle with it on the same level that we do. But thank you. But like, women still do struggle with it, similar to men. But in terms of hypersexualization in this world and being a man, whether you're walking in faith or not, you have to be careful on what you consume, what you see. And it's not just, how much you might be gooning or, this and that. That really shapes your mind and it really destroys you from the inside. It really does. So me as a guy, as a man that's trying to walk his best in the light of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? I struggle. That's probably one of my biggest struggles and probably most consistent sins.
Yeah, there's a video that Dr. Umar has out that talks clearly about this. Now, I met this man in real life, seriously. I got a picture and everything. You can put it up there. But anyway, he talks a lot about why God intended it to be the way of getting married first before you have sex and everything.
Once you have fornicated multiple times, you have now developed preferences. You know how good oral sex can be. You know how fat the butt can be. You know how good same thing with the woman, size and technique. The problem with premarital sex, this is why God never wanted for us to have sex outside of marriage. Because once you've experienced things that you should have only experienced within wedlock, you develop preferences. So when you meet a really good woman, she's everything you need, but she can't turn it up in the bedroom like that freak can. You may pass up on your soulmate because she can't please you like the freak. And a lot of people have lost out on good relationships because they didn't come with freak of the week talent. And that's why with plural marriage, if we decided to start marrying our children before sex, it could be a good thing if you got healthy parents making a decision, because guess what? If my daddy choose my wife, she's the only woman I ever felt, taste, touch. You understand? You always going to be content because you ain't had nothing else. But if you've been with 5 or 6 freaks and dad say, I got a wife for you, you like that. You got a problem.
You got a problem.
I got to test them out first. Right. And too often, people are letting sex be the determinant, and we shouldn't be. I've had women, sisters admit it. Dr. Umar, I should have married him, but he couldn't turn it up in the bedroom. And I went with my first love, and it was the worst decision that I made. We give sex too much room. And I believe one of the reasons sex is taking up too much space when it comes to choosing our life mate is we are not spiritually grounded. You're over-relying on pleasure. If your relationship with supreme consciousness was where it needed to be, pleasure would not be so prominent in your life. But because you don't have that relationship with God that you need, pleasure is carrying too much weight. And that's a big problem with a lot of us.
Wow.
Dr. Umar says a lot of stuff, but this video really hit home. I'm like, yo, this is the most facts I ever heard him speak, bro. I was like, yo, I gotta save this video. I downloaded it and everything. I'm like, bro, this is so true.
Foundation.
And yeah, man, we gotta have a foundation, bro.
I was just talking to my mans about this. I'm like, you don't have a foundation within yourself. God's not there. Your relationship, God's not gonna be there if you don't have a foundation. Even your own family, in your own community, just like everything needs a foundation that has God in the middle. Without it, everything's going to go crashing and burning because there's no true foundation.
There's no, right.
It's like it's really not. It's really crazy.
It's really crazy to try
Yeah,
to wrap
really
your
was
head
a bed
around.
without a frame. Come on now. A house without boards, a house without a roof. It ain't going to be stable. You got to have a foundation, a root, a ground.
A steady rock.
You know?
Definitely a steady rod.
Damn, that's really crazy because, like, if you really just think about it, if you were more spiritually grounded, if you had a stronger foundation, how much trouble and stuff would you get out of or, like, not even get into
Yeah, bro, I go
if
deep.
you had
Deep,
more
bro.
spiritual presence in you? If you had a stronger foundation with God, those insults might have never riled you up to react the way that you might have.
Yeah, love
Those
thy neighbor
little-
by itself, man. Because I ain't like this mug. I ain't like him. I ain't like this. You know what I mean? But hey, man, you know they say they make the enemies your footstool. You know what I'm saying? So it's now we basically best friends now. It's like you feel me? You know how our relationship started. He didn't know who I was. Came to a job and everything. Talking to me, I'm like, here come this dude. I'm like, I see him first time getting an interview. I said, I know this ain't him. I said, man, but I put the past behind me. I was like, man, let me just go talk to him and see what's going on. Ended up clicking right there.
Yeah.
He's talking about God. I was like, you mean that's all I'm about? You feel me? So then it took off from there. You feel me?
That's all it is. That's really all it is.
It is what it is, man. Another thing turned out to another. So, yeah.
It's crazy. You know, in the word, there's definitely two seeds, and the seed is going to end up being rooted correctly, or it's going to be, you know, uprooted at the end of the day when the time comes. What I'm saying is, a seed is going to grow to a tree one day. We are the tree, but the seed starts within our heart because God puts it there in the first place. God writes it upon our mind and our hearts before we know Christ's teachings.
Yeah.
So when the Christ actually teaches those teachings, we actually understand and we're able to flourish with it, comprehend it, because God would put it upon our hearts and our minds because we were chosen to do so. So with that being said, we have the right tree growing, we have the right water, the water of the word, allowing your tree to truly flourish, to allow the leaves to start growing so you can be an evangelist of the people, and then those leaves start turning into fruits, because those fruits you start bearing because of your true actions that you're doing, abiding by God's word, making sure that your purpose aligns with His will. At the end of the day, is going to allow you to be able to get other people that's, you know, in the darkness into the light. That's why God truly put us here. Of course, we have, you know, like I said, our occupations and stuff of that matter. But at the end of the day, make sure you have God first.
Yes.
Always.
Because in this world, it's so evil, and it's so easy for you to fall back into your evil ways. That's all Satan wants you want to do.
It takes us one time and then you're right back to it.
Yep.
You can
One
be
time.
years of clean from addiction. You do that, you just smell it again.
But
you
take
know
it
what I'm
like
saying?
this though.
Just
Like,
once.
he can't make you do anything. He put it in your mind. You mean like, oh, this is this. You could do this, but you ain't gonna get it like this. You just gotta.
You see that fat butt right
You
there,
know
right
what I'm
there?
saying?
Guess what you can do
you
right
know
there?
what I mean? I already know.
I can't make you do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't really make you do it. But I bet you won't do it.
It is.
I triple down there.
But it's all like it all comes down to you, and it's a fight between you and you for real. Because all he can do is put the thought in your head. He can't make you do the action. He
He
can't.
has zero power over you. He just literally gets you in your head. It's all a head game, bro.
If you get that mental straight and really focus on that and having a foundation in God, nothing can stop you. You stump on the devil's head.
I think honestly, what I've been deriving from struggling with lust is really my habits really spur from like the consumption of what I see and the weakness of my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really it becomes a exterior force, which could be the devil tempting you however way he does. Maybe it's through media, maybe it's literally like a thought that comes up in your head, maybe it's a glance at something down the street or whatever. So an external force getting transferred into a thought, right? So it's an external into an internal. Now, from the internal on, that's where you have the power to either get that discernment and make that decision to either go and feed those thoughts or literally do something to get rid of it, whether that be call on God, get up and go move, do something, get your mind off it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really that mental fortitude right there to rely on whatever you know, which your spiritual foundation to get out of those bad habits. So specifically for lust, it is one of those things that is anything that you're struggling with whether it's lust or not. The world is set up so that everything is set up against you.
Yeah.
Right. And
it's just in your face.
It's just in your face, especially lust at this point. It's like no matter cooking with Kaya.
Oh my God.
Like it's everything is in your face, right? You know what I mean?
I don't even know what y'all talking about.
No, I can take your man.
It's crazy that you brought up the media. Just like a lot about how. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm mad I just did that too.
Bro, back, yo, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so it's crazy you mentioned about the media part, about what we're putting into our eyes, into our mind. So I wanted to use scripture to back up what we're saying right now. So in Luke chapter 11 and verse 34, I go on. It says, "Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eyes are healthy, your whole body also is full of light. But when they are unhealthy, your body is also full of darkness. See to it then that the light within you is not darkness. Therefore, if your whole body is full of light and no part of it is dark, it will just be full of light when the light and the lamp shines on you." And that's Luke 11 again. So it just shows when your body is first acting off of your eyes, because your eyes is the window to your soul. So Satan's trying to find any which way possible to tempt you. So he's going to put it right in front of your face, right in front of your soul, and try to make you discern that very moment. That's where discernment starts happening. That's when your soul starts coming. The Holy Spirit starts guiding you in that moment. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. And the Spirit starts speaking verses to you where you're like, nah, not in this moment. We chilling. And you do it. That's what Satan wants you to do. That's a temptation. That's when your body gets filled with the darkness to fulfill that deed of sin. But if you have that light within you, which is God's word, he's like, wait a second. You want me to go back into the darkness while I'm in the light right now and take me back away from my purpose that I need to do? That's when you start thinking about it's a chain reaction, because when you start feeding to that one time, you're like,
so
I'm going to go back again.
Easier to go back and do it again and again.
Man.
Oh, man.
That's what happened to me, man. For real.
Gooners, I know what you're talking about.
That's real.
I know what you're feeling right now, man.
That's what happened to me, for real. Because it's like a lot of things in my life started to really go positive, and then it's just and some of the stuff, it was a negative positive thing, because things that I was hoping for and praying for, opportunities was coming my way. And it's and then that one thing I promised God I wasn't going to do, here it come. And at the same time, he's blessing me with other things, but then here comes temptation from the devil playing with you trying to distract you and get you off God's plan. And just like that, man. It's just have a strong mindset and just, take it serious with God. Once you locked in, don't play around with this thing. It's real. Spiritual warfare is real. God is real. Heaven and hell is real. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Because I'm telling you, it's going to come real soon. And the things of this earth, man, it's going to 2025. My dad already said, crying, speaking in tongues. And he don't even do that a lot, bro. I take that serious, because he's not one of those pastors that do that all the time. And 2025 that's gonna be a year. Nobody's even gonna see it coming, man. It's just a lot going on, bro. As I said, this is the time to really lock in and not walk away and lose faith in God, because you need him. You always need him, but you need him more than ever you ever needed him in your life at this point. It's terrible, man.
It's crazy. It really is crazy.
That's why I'm trying to get as much as my boys, and that they say, when you're trying to really elevate yourself and get to new levels, not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's people going to fall off. day ones,
especially
all
the
that.
people you thought was gonna be with you
Yeah.
on your elevation. They never. I swear they never go with you.
Nope.
They never go with you.
They talk a good game, but when it come down to it, you'll see who really in your corner and really who really down the ride with you, because God already knows what's gonna happen. He sees the future past everything. So it's like what's happening now is meant to be. So it's like I got my circle, I got God, that's all that matters. So it's like what I'm trying to do, it ain't doing no damnation to you. It's trying to help you. You feel me? And the thing that people gotta, understand is just like if you believe in God, don't do this thing half step. Go all the way in. Oh, I just pray at home. I just do this, that, and the third. Me and God are locked in. But are you really locked in with God, or are you just telling me that to keep me happy and to make me not look at you a certain way? Because I'm not the one you should be impressing. God is the one you should be worried about. I'm just the middleman trying to help you get on your right path. So that's the thing that makes me mad is people try to get mad because it's like, oh, you can't tell me this, that. No, it's in the Bible. Anything that, people say or have, especially if you're speaking from the Bible, it's in the Bible. Anything you're dealing with, it's in the Bible.
Literally.
Everything.
Everything.
It's the answer to all your problems.
Book of life.
Yeah, man. So it's like,
you know what kills me now?
Man.
People talking about their healing or they're in their soft girl or soft guy era.
Oh man,
it's like,
soft
bro,
that's crazy. We'll keep going.
Yeah, I never heard soft guy, but like healing. I never heard soft guy.
What? Question mark.
We got the chill guy.
Just a chill guy for real. In terms of like healing and stuff.
He just made us something new.
I was like, whoa, what is this?
I've never seen soft guy. I've never seen soft guy, but like healing,
that's crazy.
And like try and get better, and like that's further than just the Instagram post. You know what I mean? Your healing process is further than just posting. Oh, I am manifesting money and growth in 2025. It goes further than that, and I feel like when people deny God or when you deny God, you are literally missing out on a chance to like get the ultimate healing. And why I say that is because, like you said, it's literally everything that you have can be found in God. Like, so it's like, it's just hard for me to not understand like other people. Like, I don't understand why you don't believe in God. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
why don't you go to God? Like,
some people grew up in a household, maybe they didn't have it, or they grew up in a household and maybe it was forced upon them. But a lot of people these days, they want to be so caught into what they feel, so caught into like how the world wants to make them feel,
right.
Makes them feel better about themselves, that they realize that God is the one that's actually going to show you these things. The truth is actually in the word. The truth is God. Mm-hmm. God's never going to deceive you into a way that's going to not be a better version of yourself. It's going to hurt. The truth hurts. That's why people don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's going to help you every single time. It's going to help you be a better person. It's going to help you truly be in your purpose and you be able to flourish as a human being. But if you don't have God, you're going to continue to question it. And you wonder why, like, your parents force it upon you because they love you, because God loves you, because he wants to understand you. But if you continue not to put your arms out to him, he can't do nothing. He's not going to put his hand on you anymore because you don't want his help.
Yeah.
God can only do it if you allow him to do, So, a lot of people, they like, oh, I don't believe him. But it's like, they have no, genuine understanding or truth to why they're saying that. They're just saying based off of feelings.
Right.
We don't know God's real or not. But it's genuinely within us to understand these things. That's why we have an intuition in the first place.
That's the thing. It's like people go to God thinking that he's Santa too. It's like you don't understand that. Genie the Bible. Like when you go like to God and you ask for like, okay, I'm asking for money, and he gives you a shovel and a job. Because I don't know, you will ask for like a mountain of gold and stuff, and he gives you like a shovel and like people don't think that's like, oh, that's my ticket. That's from God to start doing what I got to do to get to where I want. He's not just going to give you like gold coins and just be like, boom, now you're rich. No, you ask for peace. He gives you hard situations so that you can find the peace in those situations. Whereas if he were just to give you peace you'd be sitting there like probably
You wouldn't serve him.
You wouldn't serve him that too, and probably you wouldn't see the peace in the situation that he's giving you. It took like unsatisfactory situations to really understand peace. For me, over the summer, my license plate got stolen, like randomly. Like I was out on the beach. It was for my man. It was for Tyree's birthday. We were just on a freaking beach in Maryland. Mind you, we parked our cars up on this little thing. It's in like a whole little cut off neighborhood. I come back from the beach after like 2-3 hours later, but my license plate is gone. And naturally, everybody would be pissed off. You'd be like, yo, what's going on, man? You might be scared. Who got me? I looked at my car. Ain't nothing was taken. So I'm just looking around like, calling the police, do what I got to do. And it really in that moment, I understood. It's like, yo, I'm like actually like mad calm right now. Like you would think that like you'd have to call insurance and dealing with the cops, this and that. You would think that would bring about like some type of like weird thing. But I just had this unwavering peace from a weird situation that naturally would like, take you off. So it's
That's
like
crazy you said that too, bro. I had the same situation happen over this summer. My book bag got stolen, bro. I had my computer, thank God it did not have all my important information and stuff in there, but it had like my materialistic things that I did need. So in that very moment, I didn't get mad. Definitely upset about the situation, but I looked at it as an opportunity to help grow. It's like, in a situation, do I get mad and go to some type of sin? Do I, get mad and, start acting out of character because God brought me out of this place? Mm-hmm. Or like I act in that very moment off of just not thinking. And so in that very moment, I prayed about it. It's just like, God, give me the true wisdom and understanding of like, why this could have happened to me. Maybe it's just a testing. So in that moment, that stuff got stolen. I look at it as temporary. So, right now for school, I got an iPad and I got a keyboard for it to help make up for my computer. Because school and all that stuff is expensive at the end of the day, but I got to make sure my education is getting done. And I can't cry and weep about it because at the end of the day, nobody cares. I need to go get that stuff done. It's a responsibility of mine. In that very moment, it's like, do I act off of anger or act off of the wisdom that I've gained over everywhere?
Oh man, Instagram and just start,
this effing let me just scroll, let me get my mind off it, or just like try and be proactive about the situation.
Time.
What? Yo, hey.
Yo, you felt that in the soul.
Oh my! All right, performance issues right after that.
Do that again.
Oh my goodness! Go ahead. Don't be shy.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's a little preview. But yeah, bro, it's really crazy. It really is. God brings you out those things. People try and get you angry. They want to get a reaction.
Man.
But at the end of the day, God deliver you from that.
Yeah, that's what I say. Because certain situations, like even at my job, there's a lot of racism at my job. There's a lot of racism at my job, and it's like certain things that they say, it's real slick, but it's like a lot of that thing is like, oh, just to get a reaction, like you said, out of their thing they do to us. But it's like being a Christian, and they know I'm a Christian, and it's like you black, this is what black people act like that anyway. You supposed to be Christian, why you lashing out? Like, and it's true. Like, that's why I try to just take a deep breath and I just try to, I just look at him. I don't say much, and it takes a lot to do that because you putting self, behind and you putting God first and, trying to be more, just look at what Jesus did on the cross. People doing that to him. He didn't do nothing.
Be slow to
Getting
anger.
spat on, getting punched, slashed, whipped.
Just like,
I didn't do everything.
Yeah.
Relate to Christ.
Words and stuff. I'm too old. I'm too grown. It's like half that stuff I just let slip by me. It get me mad in the moment, but it's like I'm bigger than that situation. And sometimes silence is the best killer. And it drives people insane, man.
Bro.
When you don't react the way they think you should, yo.
Something's hard, man.
Bro, don't say nothing the next time. Because people won't take pride in being like a crash out nowadays. It's like, stop trying to be a crash out. Like, it's not cool. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's like, we understand. It's like, you just probably just have some emotional troughs and peaks and stuff. But, bro, like, literally just don't do it.
Most of people do crash out, maybe in school discipline, some way, like in school suspension, out school, even out in the world. murdering, going to jail.
I crashed out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, one of those two things happen to you, bro. Your life is ruined, no matter how you look at it. So it's like, why react in that moment when you still got life ahead of you, what God has truly in store for you? Don't let your emotions take over. Don't let what you feel in that moment take over what you need to do in regards to yourself and your future.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Be
glad
still
my
and be
mans
present.
couldn't crash out when it happened, when they called him the B word at the job and everything, and you guys be and all that. So it's like, I told him, I said, for one, the facility I work at, it's literally a police station up the street in the same vicinity. There's a government building literally in the same facility. And you in Elgin, Maryland. And you're black. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you're done. So it's like, you just got to play it smart. I'm Council didn't call it the instant. Anybody would have did anything. It's just like, it's sad, but it's like, that's becoming a bigger person and walking with God for it. Because, a lot of people just wouldn't care. They would have just, people don't got nothing to lose. Right. They don't care.
It takes a lot of humility, bro. Like, humility, not just being humiliated in situations like that, but understanding that you do not have to prove yourself to other people. Mm-hmm. You do not have to earn or demand respect from other people. People are gonna walk all over you in a lot of cases, and I'm not saying let it happen, but literally sometimes it really takes to just turn the other cheek. It's because, in all honesty, a lot of the situations we go through really don't even be that deep. Yeah. If you really take a step back, and it's a lot of the stuff will be important and it'll be cool at the time, like a computer being stolen, a car being jacked into, stuff like that. You really take a step back, it's really important at the time, and you might add a lot of information on there, but it really isn't that deep in terms of the whole outcome of your life, your whole lifespan, what you've got going on, and all the things that are to come to you. Don't crash out, man. You got so much life ahead of you. Mm-hmm. Even if you're older, you still got a life beyond death ahead of you that you can look forward to and take pride and joy in, that you are not going to have to go through the things that you went through during your life, and et cetera, et cetera. There's so much to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, yeah! That's a good video right there. That's a good video. I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to talk about?
God loves you.
No cap. Yeah. I think I love y'all too, man. I love y'all, man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, man. I love you too, man. Amen. Hey, look. Make sure you spread love in the world. Keep God in your life.
Yes, sir.
And so
we out of here.
Yeah, we should all do that on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You want to catch it, bro?
Yeah.
It's a good job. It's a good job.
Yeah.
That was weak, bro. Come on, bro, from the base.